Flashing headlines cut through the world's news feeds. Philippines strikes black gold. Oil gusher in the West Philippine Sea. Asia's energy game changer uncovered. The images are electric. Helicopters buzz over vast blue waters, while steel oil rigs rise against a crimson dawn. News tickers scroll across screens. Global oil prices react. Markets in turmoil. Superpowers watch closely. The sense of something historic hangs in the humid, salt-laced air. In Manila, news anchors shout above the din, their voices trembling with excitement and disbelief. The discovery is not just big, it's seismic. Oil experts swarm in, local officials beam, and the nation holds its breath. For years, the Philippines has watched as other countries controlled energy headlines. Today, the world's gaze has shifted. Aerial footage shows the new oil platform, veins of black gold surging from beneath the seabed. The energy world is in uproar. Stock exchanges tremble. For the first time, the Philippines is not a bystander. It stands at the center of the global energy stage, poised to rewrite the rules. This is more than a discovery. It is a turning point, a storm that could shake the foundations of the world's energy order. The Philippines' oil find is not just a story for Asia, it's a drama with global consequences. The discovery site lies just off Palawan, in deep waters that have long been a source of tension and intrigue. The West Philippine Sea, part of the wider South China Sea, is an area rich in both resources and rivalries. For decades, it has been a contested frontier, with neighboring countries laying claim to its islands and waters. Now, seismic surveys and drilling have revealed the truth: a vast, untapped reservoir of oil stretching beneath the waves. Geologists estimate billions of barrels may lie hidden here, enough to transform the Philippines from an energy importer into a potential exporter. The nation, long dependent on foreign oil, suddenly finds itself sitting on a treasure. International energy companies are already circling, eager for a stake. The Philippine government has declared the area a zone of national interest. Security is tight, with naval patrols guarding the rigs and supply ships shuttling between port and platform. The location is loaded with symbolism. The West Philippine Sea has always been a flashpoint. Now, it could become a beacon of hope, prosperity, and, inevitably, new power struggles. The world watches as the Philippines claims its place as an energy frontier. The shockwaves from this discovery reach far beyond Southeast Asia. For decades, the world's energy map has been dominated by giants: Russia, Saudi Arabia, the United States. Asia, despite its size, has often been at the mercy of global suppliers, importing oil to fuel its growth. Suddenly, that balance is changing. Analysts say this Philippine oil find could shift trade routes, alliances, and even the price of energy itself. Russia, already facing sanctions and shifting markets, may find new competition in Asia. China, which has its own claims in the South China Sea, is watching the Philippines rise with both interest and caution. Japan and South Korea, heavily dependent on energy imports, see new opportunities and risks. As the world seeks alternatives to Russian oil and gas, the Philippines' discovery couldn't come at a more dramatic moment. European and Asian buyers are desperate for stability and new sources. The Philippines is suddenly a key player, with the power to influence prices and supply. This is not just about barrels and pipelines. It's about a new voice on the world stage. The Philippines, once an energy underdog, could soon help write the rules of Asia's energy future. The economic impact is impossible to overstate. For decades, the Philippines has struggled with energy insecurity, relying on expensive imports, vulnerable to price spikes, and facing power shortages. Now, the nation stands on the brink of transformation. Experts predict a wave of foreign investment as global oil giants and regional partners rush to stake their claims. Billions of dollars will flow into new infrastructure: ports, pipelines, refineries, and service industries. Thousands of jobs will be created, from skilled engineers to local support workers, sparking a boom in communities across Palawan and beyond. The peso, long battered by trade deficits, could gain strength as oil exports rise and imports fall. Energy self-sufficiency will stabilize prices at home, making electricity more affordable for businesses and families. The government has promised to invest oil revenues in education, healthcare, and modernization. But the stakes are high. With wealth comes responsibility and risk. The Philippines must navigate this new era with care, ensuring that the oil windfall benefits all its people, not just a few. This is a moment of hope, but also a test of leadership and vision. The excitement in Manila is reminiscent of other oil booms in Asia. In recent years, countries like Malaysia and Vietnam have made significant offshore finds, but none have matched the scale now suggested in the West Philippine Sea. The closest comparison is perhaps India's deepwater fields, but even those pale against the new estimates. Experts point to Indonesia's Natuna gas fields, discovered in the 1970s as a previous game-changer for the region. But the Philippine find comes at a more critical time, when global markets are in flux and energy security is at a premium. The reserves here could rival those of Brunei, long known as Asia's oil sultanate, but with far greater regional consequences. International observers note that technology has improved since Asia's last oil rush. Modern drilling, environmental safeguards, and digital monitoring can help the Philippines avoid the mistakes of the past. Still, the sheer size and location of this discovery set it apart. The difference is not just in barrels and profits. This oil could shape Asia's future, shifting influence and opportunity from established producers to new contenders. The Philippines is no longer just following the region's energy story. It is now writing its own. The market's reaction has been swift and dramatic. Within hours of the announcement, oil prices dipped on Asian and London exchanges. Investors scrambled to reposition, betting on the Philippines' rise and the potential fall of traditional suppliers. Energy stocks soared in Manila, while speculation rippled through Tokyo, Singapore, and Hong Kong. The political world is just as unsettled. China released a cautious statement, calling for peaceful dialogue over maritime rights. The United States welcomed the discovery, pledging support for Philippine sovereignty. ASEAN neighbors watched warily, aware that old disputes over the South China Sea could flare anew. Security analysts warn of increased naval patrols and diplomatic maneuvers. The Philippine military has already stepped up its presence around the new rigs. The world's navies are watching, ready for any sign of tension or escalation. This is more than an economic event. It is a geopolitical tremor, with the potential to redraw alliances, spark new partnerships, or fuel old rivalries across Asia and beyond. Experts urge caution amid the excitement. Extracting deepwater oil is complex and risky, requiring advanced technology and strict environmental controls. The fragile marine ecosystem of the West Philippine Sea must be protected, even as the nation races to develop its new resource. Transparency, good governance, and fair distribution of wealth are crucial. Officials call the discovery a historic breakthrough, but they acknowledge the challenges ahead, managing foreign interests, ensuring environmental safeguards, and resisting corruption. International watchdogs have urged Manila to learn from others' mistakes and to set a new standard for responsible resource management. The world is watching. The Philippines stands at a crossroads. This oil could bring prosperity or problems. It could foster unity or fuel division. The choices made in the coming months will echo for generations. As the sun sets over the West Philippine Sea, the future is unwritten. One thing is certain. This discovery will shape not only the Philippines' destiny, but the future of global energy, regional alliances, and the very balance of power in Southeast Asia.